What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BGB Media YouTube channel today for another review. Now, today we're reviewing the film A Writer's Odyssey, which is available today now, the start of the Chinese New Year. So happy Chinese New Year to all my listeners and fans out there. Yeah, you definitely want to check this film out. I was definitely very entertained, had a good time with this film. So yes, you can check it out in theaters, and if you are in the California area, you can check it out at the Vineland Drive-In in Los Angeles or the Westwind Drive-In in San Jose. And man, if I had the opportunity to check this in the drive-in, I would have absolutely jumped all over that because the visuals just is so good. So yeah, if I had the opportunity, I absolutely would. But nonetheless, this film is brought to you by the director Lei Jiayin, who's done Brotherhood of Blades, which is another film that was really good, and it was ultimately the lure into wanting to check this out. But nonetheless, like, this film is really good, and it's really good because it was the type of films that I like. It's the type of action films and sci-fi that I like, and how it's all compiled all together and the big payoff at the end. So I really enjoyed this film. And yeah, sure, there was flaws with the film, but this film absolutely knows his audience, and that's exactly what it was directed towards. So like, if there's even a bit of you that thinks you want to check this out, I'm sure you're going to like this for sure. But let me just kind of tell you what this is about, because the plot is really complex, to be honest, because a lot is going on. It's a little over 2 hours, so you can imagine with all that screen time that or runtime that there must be a lot of things going on, and indeed it is. But so what you have is, you have this fantasy novel artist, and by the way, because in all due respect, some of the names I cannot pronounce, so I'm just going to try to cover this without having to use them so that I don't botch anyone's name. So anyway, yes, you have this fantasy novel author who's writing a series about a heroic teenager who is on a quest to confront the evil warlord Redmane. While on his journey, he's also shielded by a legendary black armor, which I will say is a learning curve, because the two of them do not come from happy beginnings, shall I say, or how he claimed the armor, shall I say, who has a mind of his own. Yeah, they didn't come from happy beginnings. But anyway, while this author is writing this series actively throughout this film, well, there's this guy who's who realizes that this novel is actually connected to him, because the events that are happening in the novel is jeopardizing his health, and like it's putting him in a really tough position, because he's passing out all over the place, and he's not able to conduct business as usual because of the events of the book. So, because this guy has a lot of tech in his business that he's trying to run, he decides to bring in this guy to do the job for him. When I say do the job, I legit mean do the job. He tells this guy, like, hey, I'll do you a favor if you do me a favor. If you take out this author, I will give you information that you are looking for. And the guy, he's actually looking for his daughter. So he's super desperate. So he's like, hey, if you can help me find my daughter who's been missing for, like, I don't know, I think they said like 6 or something years, then, you know, he needs any bit of lead that he can. The guy's like, I will give you information if you do me this solid, as in taking out this author, which seems like a no-brainer to him until the guy realizes that this novel is a lot more than what he realizes. So that's the premise of this film. And again, because you're having the events of the novel taking place during this film, and then you're having the things that's happening in the real world, you pretty much got 2 simultaneous stories happening at the same time, which ultimately becomes connected at a point of this film, which is really well done. But yeah, the film is long. But like, to be honest, I had a hard time trying to really pinpoint what I felt the tone for this film was, because like the first 30 minutes felt like a Chinese a Chinese version of the Bourne franchise. And while with the cinematography and with the and with the score, and just like, you know, just how certain things were being executed, it felt like a Chinese version of the Bourne series. But then ultimately, once you started diving deeper into the novel world, the fantasy world, then things took another tone, which was just really, it got progressively better the deeper the film got. So with that being said, that the animation effects in that world was really, really well done. Very vivid colors will definitely have you just eye open the entire time looking at all the different things that are happening here. And on the same time too, I'll say like the set pieces, whether it was in obviously a green screen environment with effects, or the practical world and with a practical setting, either way, they both were just aesthetically pleasing to me. So I just found myself scaling the background all the time, no matter where they were at. It was just all very visually pleasing. But again, the CGI was pretty fun and pretty cool, to the point that it wasn't overbearing and it wasn't like hard to watch. So like it was definitely done to an enjoyment level for me. But with that being said, really cool action. Really cool action. Because at times, like, the film jumped all over the place a little bit for me, but like the action nonetheless has got better and better and better. Really good fight scenes. You had folks with enhancements, so like that added an extra layer to some of the fights, and just the choreography with the fights and everything was really well done. And maybe you wouldn't expect this or not, but yeah, there was some gore in this as well too. So like the blood splatter and things that was going on was really, really, really cool. Really, really cool. But even at that too, there was times where the film was comical. So like it took on a bunch of different tones, like I'm saying, and like it bounced over around the place at times, but like it still progressed the plot throughout the entire time, no matter what the tone was doing. It all still came together really, really well. But yeah, the final fight, the big boss battle, it felt like, and this is the reason why I connected with this being a gamer, because like it legitimately felt like a big boss battle from like God of War or Dante's Inferno or Devil May Cry, one of those type of things. Just how like it was shot and everything, the visuals and like the action, it just was really, 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 really dope. And then the biggest thing that I want to make sure I talk about before I end this review is that I love how the aspect ratio changed depending on what environment it was in. So in the real world, it was widescreen, and then it went full screen when it was inside the fantasy world. And I thought it was really cool that they did that, and I love the animation of how they did it. And it helps the viewers so that there's no misinterpretation as to what environment that you're in. So like I thought that was really, really, really cool. Also, make sure you stay all the way through the credits, because there is a stinger for you. And with that being said, I absolutely will be completely on board to see a sequel to this. I would love to see where this can go, because I thought it was just really, really well done. As far as the performances and whatnot, I thought everyone was pretty solid. No one stood out as like a problem, shall I say. I thought it was I thought the roles were like, very easy, obviously, for people to get into, because like it wasn't really based on trying to have big acting performances, but it was really about the effects and the action, and that was executed. And so thus it just all really came together really well. There was this little girl in the film. I thought she was really pretty badass as well too, so I definitely will give a nod to her and her performance. But overall, look, I love this film, and again, when I talk about the issues with the film, there's going to be a little bit of inconsistency with some of the things as far as with the plot and whatnot, and then maybe there's some things that you wish you had a little bit more backstory about. But nonetheless, for what it's worth, because like if the film had been any longer, that could have been a problem. But for what it's worth, it was entertaining the entire time. And for a 2 hour and something film, which is long, I was definitely entertained the entire time. I really, really, really was. So again, for anybody who may think that there's even the slightest possibility that you want to check this out, then I think you will enjoy it, because I think that type of curiosity knows exactly what you're getting into, and I think your expectations will be met. So definitely check out A Writer's Odyssey. It is available now. I think this film, starting off the Chinese New Year, is definitely starting off on a good tone. And I think everybody who, like I said, of any curiosity of this film will absolutely leave out being entertained. But as always, folks, let me know in the comments what you thought about this film once you check it out. And stay around, because more reviews are coming really soon. See you later, folks.